Hello. Happy Thursday afternoon, everyone. Just wanted to get situated here. Wait for a few more people to hop on. Little midday Instagram live that we have. So let's see. I'm always fixing my hair on this. I don't know about everybody else that goes live. I have a feeling that a lot of people just fix their hair on here or fix themselves. Hello everyone, thank you guys for joining. We're gonna wait 1 minute while we get our guests on and situated. I'm hoping everyone's having a good week. I know for me, I'm having a good week, so I hope you guys are too. Tay, whenever you're ready, you can just request to join. We'll get you in. Hi there, welcome. I don't know about you guys, but it's nice and warm. So I'm very excited that it's finally heating up because I'm very, I know this is the time of year that it happens, but I'm not with it. Don't really like it.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Give me just a
So
second.
excited.
Get adjusted. I'm a little close.
I know. That's why I was just doing the same thing. I'm like, wait a second. So I usually don't join live from this space, but I liked it today, and I was in my office anyway. So thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm so excited. Your little space is perfect.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I love pink, as you can probably see. So it's super cute.
I know, and I love your branding. So
Thank you.
for those joining us, this is Tay. So welcome, Tay. I'm happy to have you here. We've actually never met. So we don't know too much, right, about each other, and we don't live close to one another at all, but that's kind of the beauty. That's kind of the beauty of doing Instagram Live and connecting and networking, because I think it's just so cool that you get to meet all different people all over the world, and being able to do so, and especially, I don't know if you feel this, but in 2020, right, especially still having that human connection.
Yeah.
So important. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and what you do and where you're from.
Okay, so I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, on the Missouri side, and I've been in business since 2016. I started my very first business when I was 7 months pregnant. Had no, yeah, I had no, I had no clients. I had less than $100 to my name, and I did not want to go back to corporate. So I was like, I'm just going to quit my job and be an entrepreneur.
Oh,
And
I love that.
yeah, nobody thought that was a good idea. Everyone was like, do not do that. Don't do that. But I did. Yeah, I had a terrible little Toshiba laptop, and I DIY'd a website. I'm doing this. And now 5 years later, I just launched my third business, my virtual assistant. Yeah, my virtual assistant company that I first started is now an agency. We only take just a few clients, but I'm really transitioned into being a brand strategist and a brand coach. And me and my business partner just launched our second business. So the second two businesses I have, they're both branding and teaching women how to build brands. They're just in two different aspects. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. What inspired you to branch off and to be an entrepreneur?
Oh, really, it was my daughter, because I did not want to go back to a 9 to 5 and leave her and just not experience being a mom. And so really that was what first started it. But then as I got into being an entrepreneur, it was like I had this weird passion and drive for helping women. It just came over me, and I just felt like this is what I meant to do. Like this,
Yeah.
I have to help women become what they're meant to be. I understand being a wife and being a mother, that's your instinct. Oh, this is my role now. My role now is to suppress what I want, my dreams and my goals to be a mom and that is so far from the truth. And so I want women to feel empowered that even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you can still do things that drive you, that you have your own goals. And that burning passion came over me, and I was like, I cannot sit back and let women just not be confident and live the life that they want to live. So that was kind of how it started, and then how it's transitioned.
I love that. That's one of the things. So for me, I don't know where like my entrepreneur, well, I guess I do know, but for me, I've always wanted to work with women too, specifically. I don't have kids of my own, but I always think about it. My mom was, I tell a story all the time. My mom was such a hard worker, and she worked the 9 to 5 and
Yep.
took care of us and had us like doing a million activities, my brother and
Yep.
I. And I always said she was always a present mom. I don't know how she was always still so present, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, the work world is different now than it was like when we were little even. And like when you're in a 9 to 5, it's not a 9 to 5, right? Like it's
Yeah.
a 7 to 10
Yep.
sometimes, no matter what your
Yeah.
position is. So
Yep.
that's one of the things I like doing is helping women make that transition when they're working 9 to 5 and 5 to 9 within their business and balancing the two and helping them
Yep.
really move to transition to the 5 to 9 being there full time or having it grow, you know? So I love that you love helping women.
For sure.
Um,
That's awesome too about your mom. I grew up with a single mom and she worked 3 jobs and to put me in the sports I wanted to do or the activities I wanted. But her work ethic, her passion, and her drive, I think, is really instilled in me that people are like, I don't know how you do it all, and your mom and your wife. And I'm like, I can't just sit down. I don't have to sit. I got to do something.
You're like, I'm going to build 3 businesses, actually.
Exactly.
On the side.
Yeah, people
That's
are like,
awesome.
you're crazy.
But that's awesome. And I think that that shows just so much about you and your dedication too, right? That you were like, yeah, I know I'm 7 months pregnant, but I can do it. Like, I'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
I always say, like, if I don't know it, I'm either gonna figure it out for you, I'm gonna find you the person that can, right?
Yeah.
Like, being an entrepreneur, it is all about networking, right? And you're in Missouri. I'm already thinking, like, oh my gosh, I potentially have people that I could be like, meet up with Tay. Like, you know, I look at your stuff and I'm like, she knows what's going on,
Yeah.
you know? What had you, I guess, get into knowing that the branding space is what you wanted to do?
So when I grew my virtual assistant business, I really branched off into helping wedding professionals specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just kind of jumped into that niche and really threw myself out there. And while I was doing that it was a period of about 2 years, I realized that almost, I don't want to say every, female entrepreneur, but it was quite a bit are either not building an intentional brand, or they're not executing. So even if they think they have a brand,
Right.
they're not showing up and executing a brand. And I'm like, you are hurting your business culture. You are hurting your marketing efforts, and everything that you're doing from here on out, you are literally pedaling backwards because
Right.
without that solid brand foundation and identity, all the stuff that you're putting on social media, the content, and you're showing up to have this perfectly, set Instagram
Right.
for
Means
what?
nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
Because it has to always come back to
Right.
your brand, and your marketing efforts have to come back to your brand. And so if you have not built a solid brand foundation, where
What
you
is it?
go?
What is the point? Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I really saw that. And then I realized, like, this is something I enjoy. Like, I really
Yeah.
and I'm just doing it for clients anyway, or I'm helping them out. But I think that even for me in the beginning, I wish someone had told me, like, this is the starting point. Start here.
Right.
It's going to make your
Right.
life a lot easier. But I didn't have that. And so I figured it out later in the game and then backtracked and had to
Yeah.
redo it. And I'm like, if I knew that years ago, I could be so much further.
Right.
Really, that was how it came full circle, was seeing those gaps in the industry that are lacking.
Right. I love that. And I love that you were like, okay, I figured this out and now I'm going to figure it out for my clients and help
Yeah.
them with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
one of the things I think in business in any sense of the world is like when you figure something out and you give that back to other people, just like by human nature, being able to give to someone is going to add so much more value to your business than
Yeah.
anything else, you know?
Oh.
And I think, yeah, I think that's
More
the thing.
entrepreneurs led that way, that I want to help you because I wish
Right.
I could do this and I'm here for you. Like, I genuinely care about you, which is
Yes.
that what I have. People will come to you and they'll buy from you and you will make money and you will be successful. But if your drive and success is based on, oh, I just need money, 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 you're not
Right.
actually impacting lives. People can read through that crap. And yeah, you
Right
might
away.
buyers, yeah, but you're not going to build a community. You're not going to build a group of people that like you and know you and trust you and refer you. So yeah, I completely agree. Lead with your heart, your passion, and showing up like, I want to help you. I genuinely care.
I think about that too, right? There's so many people, and that's what a lot of people get concerned, like, oh, I'm in the same space as this person, as this person. we're all different from each other. I know for myself, so I am outside of coaching and consulting for entrepreneurs, I am a licensed clinician. So I have my own business, a therapy practice. And I think about that too, right? Like our mental health is just
Yes.
so important, and being able to put that first and being genuine about that with
Absolutely.
people, and you know, being able to kind of give back in that way too, because it's exactly it. People are going to see through it if you don't. So
For sure. Yes. They will know. They will feel that energy of like, oh, I'm just another number. Like no one really cares. And so,
right,
and that's one of my ultimate missions being in the online space is actually putting that connection and communication back, that care, because if I work with you, I genuinely care that you succeed. And if you're not trying to be successful, like it almost hurts my feelings. Like I'm like, just try, like just give everything
right,
I
yeah,
want, just help people so bad. Be like, I know you can do this. Like I
right.
believe in you. And so I think that is the difference I'm trying to make slowly but surely.
Yeah, you become like a personal cheerleader, you know,
Yeah.
because you're like, no, I want you to do well. It's like, I'm ready for your game. Like, you're going to score at the end of this. I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah.
One of the things that I teach and work with, so this year I'm giving away 365 free calls for organization. One of the things that I don't know where this came from. I love organizing, and I have a Trello board, I have my OneNote, I have my calendar, I have so many different things because I say I'm many things. I'm not a professional juggler, and I am not a mind reader, but I like to be able to help other people do those things. And just seeing other people get their life in order is like so important to me, because I know what it feels like to not.
Yes.
What for you, I guess, helps you to have that life work balance?
So this is a really good question, and I get it asked all the time. So
Yeah.
there was a book that I read, and I cannot remember the book. It was by Rachel Hollis, but essentially
Okay.
is that there is no such thing as work-life balance. Like there is, but there isn't, and there are going to be things that take priority in moments. And so I can't tell you that I have it perfectly figured out where I am this much a mom and I'm this much a business owner and this much a wife.
Right. No pie chart. Yeah.
Yeah, some days I'm like all mom mode, or I'm all wife mode, or I'm all business mode. And it's really about what's taking priority right now versus like, how do I structure every single day to be all the things? Because that's impossible.
My heart is so happy about that. Can I
Yes.
just tell you? Genuinely, it is.
Yeah.
Because I think that's such an important piece, right? Because we were just talking, like, it's not 9 to 5 and then you clock out. Being an entrepreneur is not that at all. Building your brand is not that at all. And I think that specifically, just as you said, that it's no specific time or one day dedicated. The balance itself is allowing that fluidity.
Exactly.
Right?
And so that's another thing I think women and then mompreneurs, wives need to understand is that you don't have to be a perfect mother. You don't have to be a perfect wife, and you don't have to be a perfect business owner. You have to give effort and show up where you're needed when you're needed.
Yep.
So that's really what I focus on is like, okay, my daughter's napping, I can do business. And then when she wakes up, I have to do mom life. And how do I fit those pieces in, but not really worry about like being all the things. Like sometimes it's just great that like I got a shower and a cup of coffee and a yoga in before she woke up. Like there is no perfect balance. So that's really kind of how I structure it. And then also help. I'm not ashamed to say that my husband is a lifesaver when it comes to me being like, I need you to be home because I have meetings, or my mom coming in to help with my daughter, or we're in the process of looking for a nanny, and I'm never going to be like, oh, I'm super mom, I do all the like, nope. And then I have people on my team that help me with the back end parts of my business, and I'm never going to pretend that I do it all because it's not realistic.
Right. But that, I have to say, is such a good sign, like, of such a good leader, right? Of knowing where you stand within your business, and you're like, I'm this person, and then I task out all the things that I need and want to task out, right? Like there's some stuff that I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm not going to.
I just talked to someone about this. I just told them I hire people that are smarter than me. And I say that meaning that I am not a genius at all the things, right? Nobody is.
Right.
There's things I can do well. There's things I don't do well at all. But there's things that my business need. Like can't live without. So for instance, social media management. Can I do it very well? Absolutely. Do I have time? No.
Right.
I don't know if we're cutting out here.
Oh yeah, we just did.
Can you hear me?
There you are. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think every business owner needs to have that. What am I really good at? And capitalize on that. And what am I not good at or I don't like to do, but my business cannot survive without? Outsource it.
I
Let's
love that. Yes. No, 100%. So I'll be honest, one of the things for me, not too many people know this. So my business, Therapy Connection is the name of my company. Um, I don't know if she's watching this right now, but I had a marketing intern that was working for me. I hired her on as part-time. I love social media, but being in it, you can get deep down in that rabbit hole and like get stuck there, right? She is, when I tell you, a genius when it comes to our social media. Like, she is on the money. She's still in school learning things, but she wants to. She has that thirst, and she's just taking the reins. So to be able to watch her thrive, yeah, it's something I would want to do and be able to take on. But if I have the opportunity to give it to someone else to also allow them to grow, I'm going to do that, right?
Exactly.
Because like, it's giving someone else the opportunity, and it's also like helping me and help our community,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a win-win. And I think too, for women, I think we're sometimes raised of like not asking for help. And then that comes
Mm-hmm.
into your mom life, and that comes into your wife life and your business life. And then you think that you have to suffer in silence essentially and not ask for help. And that is so far from the truth, because if you look
Right.
at any big business owner or any like semi big business owner that are successful, those business owners you're looking up to have floods of staff.
Right.
They have they have housekeepers. They have so much help. Like, let's normalize that we should ask
Yes.
for help.
Yes, and I love that. This, I'm gonna put it a hashtag. Ask for help is will be the
Yeah.
hashtag of this, but it's so true, And I think of this, right? Because I was just speaking to someone about it too. Is someone comes to you, right, and they're like, "Hey, I need help. I need to get this thing done." You'll more than likely, I could get the vibe from you already. You're gonna be like, "I'll either get them help, find help, or figure it out when I can help them," right? With no question of, oh my gosh, that person's so not independent, right? We
Right? Yeah,
have this
I would never
fear.
think that.
Right, right. But we have this fear sometimes as women that, oh my gosh, if I ask for help, people are going to view me as someone that's not independent or doesn't have it all together, or
Oh yeah.
we got to knock that, because
Oh, for
we'll
sure.
never be able to grow if we don't. And I love that you're on the same page and encouraging that for people too, that it's okay to do,
And like, I started my business as a virtual assistant. So if people didn't ask for help, I would have
Where would
the
you
business.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so true. It's very, very true, and it's so important. And I think, just like you said, normalizing certain things, right? Like you even said that you're like a nanny or a house cleaner, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think about that too. Like, being able to have those things, those are things that probably you don't want to be scrubbing toilets. I sometimes
No.
don't want to when I'm behind my computer all day. Not that there's anything wrong with
Exactly.
it, but by the end of the day, I don't want to go and do that,
Yeah. Yep.
So being able to normalize that there is someone that is out there and that is a job for them and they're able to do that, why don't I call in the help then if I'm able
Exactly.
to delegate it?
Yes, I say that all the time, that us bringing in a nanny or a housekeeper, not only are we helping them pay their bills because it is
Yes.
literally their job,
Right.
it is helping our entire family dynamic. I get time to focus on work so that when I can
Yep.
then leave work and be a mom, I can fully be a mom without
Right.
being distracted. And so it's a better balance for my mental health, and then for me to be a mom, and for my daughter, for my husband to not come home to like the house on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to work and also be a parent, and it is hard.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's okay to have those people come in and help you. It doesn't make you less of a mother, a wife, a house.
Right.
You're not a housekeeper, first of all. I mean,
Right.
that's your job, but as
Right.
a wife, your
Right.
role is not to be a housekeeper.
I laughed too. I had just seen something. Someone had posted it. It was probably on TikTok because I go down that rabbit hole. But someone had. It was a man that was talking, and he said, at the end of the day, your whatever the dynamics of your relationship is, right? Like, your partner doesn't want to be there to turn to you and tell you the list of things that have to go on in the house, right? Because they're not the manager also of the household. You want to be able to have a partner that you see the things that are around the household that just need to be done. I have to say I'm very fortunate because my boyfriend, he does do all so I'm sitting here, but I don't do the cooking and the cleaning. He does do all
You're
of
so
it.
lucky. I mean, we do very much like share. Like if I cook, he does the dishes, and if he cooks, I do the dishes. We both like tackle laundry together. So I'm very fortunate there that like I don't do it all. But yeah, I mean, we split it. He doesn't do it all on his own.
I have to, I know that I'm fortunate. I get this all the time.
Very much.
My friends joined. Yeah, I was gonna say my friends joined, but I know that I'm very fortunate with that. So I'm sitting here talking about it, but I don't do it. Like he definitely fits.
I'm jealous.
What would you say for you, I guess, who is your biggest support system?
Probably my husband, I would have to say. So when I had my daughter, I was previously married to her dad, and he was very not supportive at all. Yeah. He really laughed at my business. Like it was a complete joke to him. He was like, "You will never be successful. Like just give it up," kind of thing. Long story short, he was very physically, emotionally abusive, and we divorced. Yeah. I then met my now husband, who is the complete opposite. Like I will tell him like something very minor that's happened in business. Like to me, it's minor because I strive for the highest goals. Yeah. And he will be like so excited, like my God, cheering me on, like you would think that like I just won the lottery the way he cheers me. So he is by far my biggest support system. I feel it's almost like he's in the business. Like he's just so excited for everything. He really pushes me. So like on my days that I'm down and I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this, like I can't do it. He will be like, snap out of it because you definitely can. Like you go way.
You didn't go this far to get this. Just go this far, right?
Exactly. Yes. So yeah, he is by far my biggest supporter. And then I would say, you know, my close knit group of like biz besties. So my business partner Miranda, we went to high school together. We were best friends. Long story short, we separated after high school. We went our own ways and came back together to now be business partners.
That's awesome.
And then my other biz bestie, she's my neighbor, and
that's great.
Yeah, so I feel like I have a really good network of girlfriends that are
that's awesome
support systems.
That's awesome. And I find that too, like there's a bunch of my friends that are on here, like personal friends, right? And there's a difference to it because they support you in certain ways, but there is another level of like being able to know someone that's doing business and being able to like connect. I see you're getting some love on that, so I'm assuming that's one of your
that's my business partner.
Yeah. Hi, nice to meet you. One of the things too, I wanted to just shout you out, and like I appreciate you sharing like the intricacies and the intimate moments of what kind of led you like during a certain path. I think oftentimes too, as entrepreneurs, being able to share how we got to where we got to, you know, and not being afraid to share that and to go deep and be honest about that. So I genuinely do appreciate you sharing your story because being real and authentic comes from like sharing it all and not being afraid to like, this is who I am type of thing, you know?
Yeah, like in the first 2 years of my business, it was like from the downfall of my relationship and then through my divorce, I did not share it at all on social media. I was so ashamed that like people are going to judge me. They're going to think I don't have my life together. Like no one's going to hire me because I'm a hot mess. Like I was like, I don't share this with anyone. Like held it deep inside. And then last year, I don't really remember what happened, but I finally decided to go on Instagram and just be like, you know what, this is what happened. You know, I'm obviously at that point was engaged to my now husband. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to tell women because I then did like a fundraiser for the Loveland Foundation to back to women of color for mental health because I think it's
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk more, girl. I'm so happy that we aligned. I really am.
So I felt it's so important because if I were to just keep hiding this inside and not share it, and not have a voice, then other women could likely be going through it like right now. And I wish that I had someone to talk to at that period where I felt like this is a safe place. I can tell someone and they're not going to feel like they're not going to judge me. So I felt like, you know what, I'm just going to share it. And the flood of DMs that came in of like, I've been through this. I'm currently going through this. Like just needing someone to talk to, I like broke down in tears because I was like, I'm so glad I shared because women need a support system of other women who care, who aren't going to judge them, who are going to be there for them and have their back. And if I have to drive to your house and beat your man's ass, I will do it.
I will do it.
You gotta
If I
be
have
hands
to.
to himself.
But I think that that's like, it also shows too, right? Like that people want to be heard, right? At the end of it, people want to be heard and know that there's a similarity out there. So for every person that is out there that's judging your story, there's 10 times more that are connecting with you.
Oh, for sure.
And on some level, there's like a realness to it.
Yeah.
You had shared about being in a previous relationship. I was in I never really shared this story before. Sometimes I do, but I was in a previous relationship before my boyfriend. I was in one for almost 8 years. And I thought that, you know, everything was rainbows and sunshine and, you know, I was on a career path and everything. And it should be told, if I hadn't left that relationship, I don't know if I would be building my business or doing anything, any of the things that I needed to, you know, because it wasn't the support that I get now. It wasn't the help that I get now.
That found that now.
Yeah. And I think that that's what it is. It's like a matter of not being afraid to be who you are, because the people that need you are going to shine through, and those that are going to judge you, you don't want them in your space anyway, you know?
Exactly. And that's another thing too with the online spaces. I hear all these success stories like, oh, I made 6 figures in 6 months. Oh, I made $1 million this year. About like, what led you there? What got you? Like, I know you did not just wake up one day. Like, oh, I'm rich now. Like, and you are selling that story to women who are then, I won't be enough. I will never be that. I can never just be rich overnight. And I can tell you right now, I've been in business for 5 years and I have had no overnight success. I have worked hard. I have worked my ass off to get where I'm at. And I'm not going to sit here and sell someone a fake story that I know is not true. Like, I will never do that. And so
I knew we were meant to talk.
Yes.
I knew it.
I think it's so important that women show up authentically and tell how we got here, how we started, the struggle, to normalize that you're going to have struggles. It is going to happen. You're going to fall on your ass over and over and over again. But every time you get up better. So let's stop going online and sharing these magical unicorn stories that aren't real.
I think also too, like, right, so that person is like, oh my gosh, I just launched whatever business and in 6 months I did this because I launched this business. They're not talking about the 5 other businesses that they had before that didn't succeed, you know? And like you said, being real about that and saying, like, you know, you were honest about your relationship. You're like, I was in this relationship that wasn't working well, and I was like, peace out. Also, I'm flipping my life around, and I'm going to do what I got to do, you know, and being honest about that. Because like you said, we are like looking to other people, especially in the midst of not knowing what's going on still with the world, like rushing and searching and reaching for what our lives will be like. And when you see things like that people are making X figures and this and that, you know, truth, I think I had 4. Yeah, right, Hara.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, right? Like, it's like seeing all that and comparing yourself. It's, you know.
Exactly. And I used to get so discouraged by it. So so for instance, like this year, 2021, this is my year 5. In January, I sold 40 grand worth of business services.
Wow.
Okay. But a couple of weeks ago, I launched 3 different launches that couldn't even buy a dinner because they failed launches. So if I were to sit here and be like, yeah, you know, in January, I sold 40 grand with their services, you'd be like, okay, that's awesome. But I'm not sharing with you like the 4 years that led to that were a complete bust. Like,
I appreciate you being so genuine about that. I really do. I really do. Because I think that that's what it is that more people need to be real like that, right? Because especially if we're preaching and telling people that we want to be a community of women that are helping women, we have to really do that in a real and honest way.
Exactly. Because there's like Facebook groups, for instance, and girls are like, my 3-step method to making 30 grand overnight or whatever crap they're selling.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but how did you do it? And there's never an answer of like how. Like, oh, I launched. Okay, but like,
what does that mean?
What led to this? I know you didn't launch to an empty community and made 30 grand. Like, didn't do that.
Right. And I always say too, you know, one of the things, I was at an event last night and they were talking about networking, and you never know who you don't know, right? So even in a room, we just met because of Clubhouse, and then I don't even remember how we met on Instagram.
Just like follow
or a Facebook group maybe, right?
Followed each other on here, and then you reached out.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, like, it was a random connection, but you never know what that can mean, right? Even if it's just a genuine conversation. For me, this helps me to be like, oh my gosh, there's another person that's literally in a different time zone that like we're living very similar things, you know. And again, it goes back to needing human interaction and connection, right? And and appreciating that too.
Yeah,
So
because that's the thing too. In the first, what is it? I think they say the first 5 years or 3 years of business that you're likely to fail. But if you have a group of women around you that are authentic, that are actually cheering you on, that are here for you,
yeah,
giving you the real tips and tools, you can easily be successful. But it's very hard to find and sift through and find those
yeah,
people that actually care about you. And so that, yeah, that's why that's like my complete mission in life is to show up authentically for women, support them
yeah,
genuinely, and just let them know, like, I care about you and your success.
yeah.
If I have to drag you with me to be successful, I will do it.
I love that. I love that. Well, I'm going to ask if anybody is on here now and has any questions for Tay before we hop off. I thank you so much for joining me and for being so open to a call as someone that you didn't know. I love that. Like, I honestly love that, you know, because I think, like I said, we're all living like these lives right now. And I think it's just, it's neat to meet people. And especially, I'm very passionate about women entrepreneurs. So, Angelica, I know you will. I love you, Angelica. Thank you.
I'm so excited we connected, and
Me
I feel
too.
just these small interactions with women, and then
Yeah.
that will just only grow our friendship, you know, moving forward.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Oh, we're gonna talk. I was gonna
She
say
said this
for
was wonderful. Love the energy.
we
Girl.
love you guys being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have to talk offline though, because I could see for us working together for something for sure.
For
For sure.
sure.
If you're doing mental health stuff,
Yeah.
got you, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for spending your afternoon with us. And make sure to follow. It's BS with Tay, right?
Yep. You got
There
it.
you go. Awesome. Thank you so much. It was so nice
Yes.
meeting you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.